Oh, does that mean I'm audible again now? Perfect.
Okay, hello. Oops. There's game audio. Oops.
Okay, so one of the bidding wars that we've got going on right now is the skin selection for Batman Arkham City. If you haven't played the game before, the skins in this game are actually all pretty cool. So if you want to get your last minute donations in and pick one of the skins for this game to run, you should do so very, very soon because the runner is just getting ready. Currently, Sinestro Corpse is winning with $6. The animated series costume has 5, and 1970s Batman has 1.
That should be a little better for volume. I can turn everything up a bit too if we need to.
Alright guys, it looks like Sinestro Corpse is going to win for the costume, so make sure we have that one picked.
Okay. So I'm ready to go. Just let me know when we're good.
Feel free to count down.
Alright, the time starts right after the loading screen here, so just do that. I'll let you know when that is. It's right about now. So a little background info here. This dude, his name is Hugo Strange. He built this evil prison city thing. We're not a fan of that because it's evil. And he also knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman, so that's a bit of a problem. We'll figure all that out. Playing the game in Spanish because Spanish is 12 seconds faster than English. I'm going to be switching between mouse, keyboard, and my controller a lot during the run. So if you see like the prompts on screen switch, that's why. So right now we're just going to try to get out of here because being in this evil prison city thing kind of sucks. This guy doesn't really want to let us. Another thing I guess I'll mention now is for this game, I have custom mouse wheel bindings, so if I scroll down on the mouse wheel, it skips dialogue, and if I scroll up, it does like fast counters, which will come up later on. They're just telling us to line up here, so we're just gonna go ahead and do that. There's not really a whole lot going on in this bit of the intro, so it's pretty much just walking through all this.
What is it with these Batman games and having really slow intros?
I don't know. It's like the one thing they did wrong. Although it is interesting to be able to play as Bruce Wayne briefly.
I mean, spoiler alert, you technically play as Bruce Wayne the whole time.
What? What are you talking about? So this is Jack Ryder. He's gonna, like, act all tough and stuff, and then in, like, 30 seconds he's gonna be screaming for us to help him. Because he thinks we're just some lame rich guy. Alright, so this is the first, like, mini fight in the game. This is pretty straightforward. You just wait for that guy, and hit this guy, and counter that guy. And yeah, that's it. Bruce Wayne is OP. This is Penguin. He hates us because family rivalry. And that's about it. The Wayne family destroyed the Cobblepot family all those years ago. The subtitles are in Spanish because everything has to be Spanish for the game to be in Spanish.
A despertarse, Wayne. Oh, ¿qué te pasa? ¿Quieres que llame a tu mayordomo?
Cobblepot.
Oh, ¿te acuerdas de mí? ¡Qué detalle! Tu familia destruyó a la mía, Wayne. Esto es... bueno, digamos que es una...
Alright, so I think we've had enough of being beaten up by guys, so we're gonna start doing some beating of our own. Oh, whoops. Forgot what I was doing there for a second. Want to counter these guys so that you break the handcuffs. There you go. Now the fun begins. And that's that fight. A little bit of dialogue RNG here. We got the fast dialogue. I can only tell that because of the number of sentences it is. Now we got a little parkour segment. We're trying to get on top of that building.
Alfred, ¿tienes mi posición?
Here we have some dialogue skipping and more parkour. Whoops.
No exactamente.
Whoops. Sometimes when you slide or when you try to get around on this thing, you kind of acts a little weird. Fortunately, we got both the slides without any problems. We're gonna jump here to trigger this cutscene a little faster. And now we get to finally be the Batman. So we'll put on a good old normal batsuit here. Then there's gonna be some magic happening, and then poof. We are now Sinestro Corps Batman. I'm personally not a fan of this skin because it's supposed to be yellow, but because of color blindness I see green, and it's confusing. That's a little hacking puzzle there, and then we have a short cutscene. Basically, Catwoman is being held by Two-Face, and we need to save her, because plot.
Eso no suena nada bien.
No, señor. La predilección del señor Dent por todo lo binario podría estar bien a la señorita Kyle.
Si hay una persona en Arkham City que sepa qué está pasando de verdad, es ella. Tengo que encontrar a Catwoman enseguida.
Alright, so now we got a little bit of gliding. We can't glide super fast yet, but that'll get better. Right now we gotta do a little like Spider-Man strats. Alright, so now we're in the courthouse, slide here to trigger this cutscene a little faster. Now we have the first real fight in the game. So what we want to do is we want to try to keep everyone on this upper area and not have anyone jump down and try to grab a chair to throw at us. Also, there's two different people trying to shoot us, which is a little inconvenient. That fight went really well. And Two-Face shot us really fast. Sometimes he just like waits a while before shooting you. Then the cutscene we just skipped, there was a sniper shot, and we're pretty sure it was from Joker. So now we're trying to figure out where he is using ballistic science.
Por esa ventana. La trayectoria de la bala me llevará.
So now we know that he's in the church. So we're gonna go find him. And now there's a bit of a precise glide path here because I'm going to try to skip a fight right outside the church just by like gliding past them. to the door. This is gonna be a little weird. I went a little higher than I planned to. It saves like 15-ish seconds. Okay, didn't get it, but that's fine. Okay, so now we're in here. This is Harley Quinn. Say hi. Gonna throw it at a wall.
Suelta a la señora, bicho raro, o esta gente se lleva un balazo en la cabeza.
So what we want to do right now is she has a bit of dialogue that she has to go through before she leaves. And we're basically just going to try to guide her towards the door so that when she does want to leave, she just is able to exit immediately without having to walk anywhere. It doesn't make much of a difference if she's not super close to it, but it's faster, so gotta do it. This might be a little strange because she's farther away than I would have wanted, but actually that's fine. She just stops right there. Good. Yeah, so she had to like walk to the center of the carpet there a bit. Ideally, she'll just go straight for the door, but all depends on how much you can guide her. So now we get a look at how the AI in this game works. Specifically that it doesn't. Yeah. I don't think I have to say anything more about that. Right. Oops. Okay. That was a little bit of a delay, but it's alright. Oh. And that is all those thugs dealt with. So now we want to go up to the bell tower because that's where that sniper shot came from earlier. While we're at it, we're going to grab this Riddler trophy for a little experience because we do want to be able to buy some upgrades in the run. Now we're up here, we're going to try to leave to cancel the dialogue. We got good dialogue RNG on it, so that's good. Now we have to wait for Joker to do his thing here. We're not going to pay attention to that, we're just going to break his TVs and wait for him to say bomb us, which is when we can leave.
So what made you choose to run this Batman game over any of the other ones?
I ran Asylum for a while, but I was running no major skips and I just really wasn't enjoying the category, and this, I think this is probably the most interesting, in my opinion. Like, Arkham City any percent, and Arkham City is my favorite of the games in the series. Okay, so we're gonna take a little detour here. Normally, for the main story, you'd want to just go straight to the steel mill, but we're gonna do this little side mission here to get a grappling upgrade, which saves quite a bit of time over the course of the run. So it takes like 2 minutes to do, but it just saves so much time that it's worth doing. And we have some optimized glide challenges here. It's not that I don't like Asylum, it's just that particular category was not fun. I like fancy swinging around and stuff in this bit. Alright, this is the last glide challenge, then we can go get the upgrade. It's the last of the Spider-Man strats for grappling around. It's gonna start actually looking like we're flying.
Me he entrenado bastante. Estoy preparado.
Fun fact about this grapple boost thing, when I first played this game casually, I remembered seeing this upgrade in like trailers and stuff, but I didn't do this side mission because I just played through the whole story. So I basically just played through the entire game without being able to do this. It just like grapples you to things faster and then launches you off of them. So saves quite a bit of time in traversal. Alright, so now we're going to the steel mill. We're entering through the lava chimney because, of course, we are. How else would we get into the building? And in here, we've got a small little shortcut skip kind of thing going on. Happen after we pull this thing. So normally you'd have to like go down and then like go all the way around the lower part, but instead we can just do this. And that saves about 4 seconds over doing it, or yeah, 4 seconds over doing it normally. Oh, we got the optimized pop up there. Normally there's a bit of dialogue playing right now, but since I came up so fast, it just did not play. So that's how you know you did that bit optimally. We're just gonna eat this flame so that we're close to continuing. There's a nurse here, we're gonna have to save her. Now we've got, oh, come on, there we go. Got a big fight. Before I do the big fight, I'm gonna buy, whoops, not that. I'm gonna buy critical strikes because that makes things go by way faster. With critical strikes, we can basically knock people out in 2 hits.
Will I have time to plug some stuff after the big fight?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
That's the fight.
Okay, so just a reminder to people who are just waking up, good morning, by the way. We are $49 off of our Freedom Planet goal to see that game run entirely with the Guitar Hero controller. That is going to be such a cool run to see, and will be happening at the end of the day, so there's still a little bit of time to get more donations in for that, but let's make sure we get it at some point, right? And Nazumi Man, the extra stage is $25 on that, so if you know that game and you are a fan, definitely think about putting it towards that. Thank you for all the donations. We're hoping that we can get up to 1,000 by the end of the marathon. If we do, there might be something special planned.
Alright, so this is the first real Predator room. You're gonna see this a lot in the run, where we basically just pull people off of ledges with the bat claw, and that is super effective. Alright, and now we get the REC gun, or the rec gun, which is probably the most broken gadget in the game. Lets you do some really weird stuff. We'll get to that. So earlier I pulled a grate, like I pulled a vent off of a thing, and I did that so that I could skip a little tutorial cutscene here by doing this. Basically I just aggroed those guys with the explosive gel, so it just started the fight immediately and didn't trigger the tutorial cutscene thing. Cool thing with the rec gun, you can cancel animations on doors with it really easily. Not really easily, but like it's like nearly a frame perfect trick, but there's that. I'll explain this trick after because Kinda gotta focus on it. And that was hammer skip. So what happened there was you can, with the rec gun, you can store the state of, like, you aiming the rec gun, and then you can activate that during any cutscene or animation or whatever. So what would normally happen in that segment is we would climb up the ledge and then we'd get stuck in a cutscene, do a fight and whatever, but if we activate the state of us aiming the rec gun, it drops us down, and then if we wait a little bit, climb up, then it just skips the cutscene and we can go straight to this. This cutscene's unskippable, by the way. It's like 2 minutes long. Basically,
If you've got a 2-minute long unskippable cutscene, let me plug a couple more things.
yeah, go ahead.
So for Animal Crossing City Folk, which is coming up soon after this run, we are still looking for whether we're doing a male or female character. Currently, female is in the lead by $1. So if you want to see a male character run in that game, $2 donation is all it'll take. And for Hello Kitty Roller Rescue and Catbird Color, you get to choose the outfit for a donation there as well. So take a look at those bid wars, and don't forget, every donation gets you into the raffles.
Alright, so what happened in this cutscene, basically Joker poisoned us, and he poisoned a lot of innocent people too, so we have to try to get a cure. Mr. Freeze was working on the cure, so we gotta go find him. So we're headed off to the GCPD. So there's some penguin thugs chilling outside the GCPD. We don't really want to deal with them, so we're just going to do this instead. Whoops, okay. Or we can just knock them out. That works too. That is not what I intended to do. No. Just go under the... Okay. That's fine. What I wanted to do was I wanted to shoot the guy in the back with the rec gun, and that would distract everybody else, and then I could just slide under, no problem. But I got a little too close, and it registered me right-clicking as trying to do a silent takedown. So that's what happened. But it was a decent recovery from that. Okay, now I've got another Predator room. I really like this Predator strat. Take this guy down. Because the thing with this room is the last guy, you don't have to take them down because they surrender and then you interrogate them. So we can just do this. That's a bit of a slow interrogation animation because it was like up against a wall, but that's alright. And now Penguin has locked us in here, so we have to hack our way out with the first actual hacking puzzle in the game, of many to come. You might notice the prompt is a little messed up there, because for some reason, when you move the sticks, it doesn't register that you're playing with a controller. Like, for prompts and stuff, so it just kind of gets really messed up when you try to hack with the sticks, but are playing on keyboard. We got a zip now. Whoops. Honestly, I'm not really sure how that works, but there you go. The basic idea is like you can like store the state of you sitting in corner covers, and then for some reason when you throw a gadget from restored corner cover, it launches you across the map. And that's another reason to play the PC version, is it runs at 62 frames per second, and these zips are frame rate dependent. So some of the zips don't work on the console version, unfortunately. So there's a little cutscene when we enter this building here. This is the museum. But if we just like run forward immediately, we skip it. So I'm just gonna do that. GG. Oops. This window's a little finicky about letting you jump through it. So what's happening here is Penguin has military-grade communication disruptors somehow in this prison city. And because of that, we can't hack this terminal, so we gotta go find the disruptors and destroy them. And since I'm Batman, I can just track military-grade communication disruptors, and I just have a built-in thing to do that. So before we go destroy the first one, buy 2 more upgrades. Mainly the multi-ground takedown, which will allow us to get through fights really easily. It is really overpowered if you use it properly. Because it just... yeah, that's the fight. Just like you can cancel doors, you can also cancel the communication disruptors. And that's way faster, so obviously we do that. So now we've got a predator area. So instead of fighting these guys, we're just going to drop a smoke grenade and not grapple up. I keep mashing the grapple button because it's the same button as the drop smoke grenade button. They did see me, but that shouldn't matter as long as I get this. So we're going to grab corner cover storage. Then we're going to go up here. We're going to activate our corner cover storage, and then that will allow us to zip out of bounds. And this is the fastest way to get to the third disruptor, which is underground. Okay, that was a little weird, but we should be good. Yeah, it should be high enough. Okay. I have another little predator area. We are going to take these guys down, because if we don't, it can mess up the zip out, so we're just going to play it safe, and... okay. This might be a little weird. No, that's not what I wanted. Okay. That didn't go well. Where is... why are you still up? Can I, by any chance? No, okay. There we go. Use that takedown that we would otherwise never use. Oops. Okay, now let's get out of here. Go against this little wall there to give us a glide boost. And we can basically glide forever. It's kind of ridiculous. So we just glide over here. Come up here. Want to land on like a little precise spot to load in the certain area. Yeah, so that loads in the subway area, which lets us then load in the next area where we want to go. I'm gonna try to skip this fight. Hopefully it works. Did not, so we'll have to fight these guys, but that's okay. We have the multi-ground takedown, so this shouldn't be too rough. Yeah, that thing is so overpowered. Okay, so now the disruptors are disabled. We can get back to hacking this thing. And the password is Dinosaurio. So there's a skip coming up here. We call it Dino Skip because of this giant dinosaur. It skips a pretty good chunk of the game. It's the first, like, major skip, I'd say. So we're gonna do, this is similar to what we saw in the Asylum run, kind of, where we cancel the animation of a door and then that, like, unloads the area. So, like, if we do this, then we can run over here. So this area is kind of unloaded. So this lets us do some fun stuff. Whoosh. So that's zip 1 of 2 necessary for Dino Skip. This looks about right. Okay, good. We're not stuck. Sometimes, depending on your setup, you can get stuck inside a wall. It's unfortunate, but it's just how it is. A little bit of blind out of bounds navigation, but if you know the layout, then it's not that bad. Specifically if you know where you're trying to grapple to. Right. Then we reload checkpoint to reload the area. Fun fact, if I was to exit the game right now, it would corrupt my save file, and then that would be bad. So don't exit the game, like don't exit to the menu after doing an out of bounds trick. Now we have gel warping. Normally what would happen is if you put gel on this wall, it would trigger a cutscene in a fight, so we just do a weird trick like that I somehow got first try. And that warps it onto the wall, and that doesn't trigger the cutscene. I'm genuinely surprised I got that first try. Right. Oh yeah, I gotta buy a gadget upgrade right now. This one. Because otherwise we would be stuck in this area, but if we buy the range upgrade on this hacking device, we can just take this thing down normally. Just put an explosive gel there for the thugs. Now we can do something called a super jump. Yeah, there's... This gadget is really broken. What's happening with that is basically... I guess I'll explain after, because there's a thing here. So if I cancel this door, and I go in like this, it skips a cutscene, which is good. You're weird. Okay, that's fine. This is another room where bat-clawed rats are king. You just... That's it. That's the whole room. Then we talk to this guy. We get a thing we need to fight Penguin, which would make more sense if we didn't skip the whole part where Penguin has Mr. Freeze's gun. So now we have a disruptor for that, so we can just turn off the gun and fight Penguin. It's pretty good. So the thing with super jumps is if you like double tap the dodge button off of a ledge, you'll like do this cool roll thing, but if we cancel that by then shooting the rec gun, it launches us really high up into the air, and that's how super jump works. Okay, so this is Penguin. He's got this room. We basically just go around here. Then come up here. He tries to give us a chance, so we use it to cancel his gun. Oh, normally when you punch Penguin, he like goes flying off as if you actually punched him. But if you press the button just early enough, you get to go inside of him. I actually golded that split. That's cool. Okay, so now we have Grundy. This is the first boss fight. So he uses these things to heal, but we blow them up with explosive gel. And that pretty much summarizes the entire fight. That's phase 1 dealt with. Phase 2 is pretty much the same idea, but it's actually easier because he doesn't try to heal. Although he does weird attacks that you have to account for when you're placing gel and stuff. Alright, that's phase 2. We're gonna do this. This is entirely cosmetic, but you can use the ret gun to cancel basically anything, including this cutscene. Oh no, he's got us. And there we are. Alright, let's get out of here. So this is the trickiest phase because he's constantly using these to heal, but if you stick the explosive gel just on the edge, it still counts. So that's phase 3. And now we have Penguin to deal with. He has a grenade launcher because he's really afraid of us. Understandably. I am Batman after all. Only had to do 2 slots on Penguin, that's really good. And that is that. Alright, so now in the story, we are trying to track down Ra's al Ghul because there's something in his blood that we need to cure the Joker virus thing. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to follow this blood trail that leads you to where this ninja is, and then that'll lead you there. But we already know where he is, so we're just gonna zip out of bounds to, oops. It's a little awkward. That's fine. We're just gonna zip out of bounds to go there right away. Okay, good, the zip worked. Sometimes that zip, if you don't wait long enough, like if you do it too fast, it just like throws you inside of a building, which isn't particularly helpful. We got another Predator room here. There, or like right after this bit. There is a better strat for this Predator room than what I'm about to do, but this works most of the time. So I just keep doing this. The better way is with Batclaw strats. Okay, that works. That's not exactly what I wanted, but that's fine actually. This means I have to be loud to get this guy's attention. Where are you going? Ugh, he's going the long way around, so I gotta... Okay, that was alright. Had that guy come the normal way, it would have been ideal, but... Oh, that's unfortunate. We're gonna grab corner storage on the Batarang and the remote control Batarang. We'll need both of those. This is a little buggy. I've never actually seen that before. where she was still hiding, but I was still able to rescue her. Doesn't matter though. It worked out. So in skipping the whole ninja follow thing, we skipped getting the line launcher, and we kind of need that, so we're just gonna go get that quickly. Okay, now we have the line launcher. There it is. So we got another out of bounds skip. This one's called Dead Parents Skip because there's a cutscene with your dead parents, but nobody wants to see that, so we're just gonna skip it. So do that because there's a little bit of weirdness with the camera there, so we gotta go in and out to be able to actually do the zip. Another out of bounds glide here. This one's kind of hard to learn, but once you know what you're doing, it's not too bad. Especially on PC, because you just get so much glide height gliding with keyboard and mouse. Okay, so now we're going to cancel this grate, hopefully. It's a little tricky. Alright. Now, that door would normally be open, but it's closed right now because we didn't watch the dead parent cutscene, so we gotta do a little improvisation here. Some fun, slightly inbounds, but mostly out of bounds parkour. Alright, so something to note right now, if I die at any point in this section of the game, I will lose my corner cover storage that I put on my remote control batarang, and I need that in like 8 minutes. I don't need it, like if I die, there is a backup strat, but it's much faster to not die. So we're gonna play the trials, which is this upcoming segment of the game. We're gonna play them pretty safe. You can do some like really risky stuff, like you can do super jumps all over the place and stuff, but it's not really worth it, especially in a marathon setting. The reason we were like limping around before was because the poison the Joker poisoned us with is kind of getting to us, so we're gonna drink this revitalizing thing so that we live a little bit longer. Unfortunately, it also causes us to hallucinate, so that's not great, but we'll be fine.
Tu siguiente tarea es muy simple. Sígueme por este mundo y habrás completado la prueba. Pero si tocas algo por el camino, morirás.
So this is a bit of downtime in the run. There's not a whole lot going on other than gliding around and a couple fights. It's a nice little break from all the crazy action you get around it.
Estas pruebas demostrarán si eres lo bastante fuerte para liderar mis fuerzas, para salvar al mundo del mal que lo destruye.
Yeah, like clearly I could have left sooner, but I just wanted to play it safe. Got a little fight here. Ideally, we want to knock this first guy off the ledge, but a lot of the time that doesn't work out, so that's alright. We're going to do this glide with the controller, because sometimes when you try to go into this pit thing early, it like locks you, and then you like fall to your death, so that's no fun. We're going to try not to fall to our death here. Okay, it didn't lock us, so that's all good.
La sangre del demonio me ha permitido vivir 600 años. Imagínate el bien que podrías hacer con semejante.
That's another thing, if you hit any of these walls or anything anywhere here, you die.
La pequeña
And if you hit the ground, you die, so
solo te
you want to stay in the air.
vida unas pocas pero valiosas horas. Es hora de que tomes la decisión definitiva.
That might have even been a little riskier than I would have wanted to go for, but no, this is fine. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, cool. It's a good fight. Now we want to hover over this pit until he's done talking and it's ready to accept us. And then we get to leave crazy hallucination land. For now, at least. So right after this, we've got the second boss fight in the game, which is against Ra's al Ghul.
Tu desafío final te aguarda al otro lado de esta puerta. Rezo para que los espíritus sean bondadosos.
Alright, so we're going to throw away our batarang storage because we don't need it anymore. We still need the remote control batarang storage, though. And we're going to grab rec storage because we will need that in a little bit. So he's got Sand Army clones. They're not hard to fight. And since we have rec storage, we can interrupt that animation of him pushing us really far back. It just wastes a lot of time, and if we're closer to him, it's easier to shoot him. Okay. Grab rec storage again for later. Little mashing segment. And then like a 30-ish second long unskippable cutscene.
Estamos destinados a gobernar esta tierra, despojarla de la escoria de la humanidad. Solo nosotros podemos hacerlo. Mi padre es anciano. Su momento ha pasado. El nuestro está empezando. Coge su cuchillo. Mátale. Acepta tu destino. Acepta nuestro destino.
Sabes que no puedo hacer eso, Talia.
Entonces, amado mío, tendrás que morir.
Alright, so earlier I mentioned I have a custom mouse wheel binding up for counter, and this is where I want it. Because there's just like a ton of dudes that come at you, attacking you all at once, so being able to just immediately counter them all at the same time is super useful. Ah. I messed that up a bit, because Batman doesn't like to throw batarangs at the right guys sometimes. Which is really unfortunate, because otherwise throwing batarangs is incredibly useful in this fight. Alright, so now right here, this is the end of the actual fight. Now we have a bit of a mashing segment and then a cutscene. So I'm actually going to try to skip the cutscene because it's like 45 seconds long. So we don't have time for that. So we're just going to cancel that, stun him, and then chuck batarangs until... There we go. And that tricked the game into thinking we watched the cutscene and threw the reverse batarang gadget, which we don't even have. And that's the end of the fight. Okay, so since everything went well in that whole segment of the game, we still have our remote control batarang storage, which means we can do this zip right here. Okay, that was expected. Sometimes it just launches you in the wrong spot. So we're just going to try it again, because we should still have storage. I think I was a little bit too far to the right. There we go, that's what we want to happen. So now we are out of bounds. Since we came into this area out of bounds, we also have to get out of bounds.
Una pequeña dosis.
This area's a little finicky about the line launcher because there's a lot of like walls and stuff in the way, which is unfortunate. Oh, didn't mean to dive there. In fact, I didn't dive there. I just held the button down. This game, oops.
Ras quería convencerme para usar su fosa, pero es muy original.
This game likes to mess up your inputs, specifically the like jump dodge inputs. Okay, so we should have 2 upgrade points. So we're gonna buy that for later and this for right about now. And that sums up all the upgrades for the run. So now that we have the thing we got from Ra's al Ghul's blood, we need to go back to Mr. Freeze so he can make the cure and that everyone can be saved. Okay, that's not exactly what I wanted, but works out. And since this room I'm coming into right now is, we're not supposed to be here yet, it's not really loaded in properly, so we can just walk out. It's pretty amusing. Okay, there we go. Now we should be back in bounds as soon as we grapple this thing. And there's a little fight here. This is going to be over really fast. And that's the fight. Rescuing this guy. He used to be in charge of Arkham Asylum. Now he's the mayor. And now he's in jail. It's a long story. We have a cure to go make, so we're just going to move right along. So once we re-enter the GCPD, we'll have the 3rd boss fight, which is Mr. Freeze, and it is considered to be the best boss fight in the series. The thing that's really interesting about it is, so you have to sneak up on him. You can't just like punch him in the face a lot. And when you do like if you do a silent takedown on him, he adapts to it, so you can only do each tactic once. Fortunately, we have a really optimized route for fighting him, so hopefully this goes pretty well. Let's do a glide kick on him. While he's recovering, we're going to run around here and get our line launcher ready. And he'll also, like, he can, like, track the heat of your footsteps and stuff, and that's how he follows you around. So, because of that, we can bait him to go that way. Then we're going to do a silent takedown. Since we're playing on easy, we only have to do 4 attacks on him. I believe on hard you have to do 8, and New Game Plus you have to do 9. So, playing this fight on hard and New Game Plus is quite a bit trickier than easy. And then the final thing we're going to do on him is we're just going to pull him to this magnet. Oops. We're just going to walk away. And that's Mr. Freeze. That was like nearly perfect. Like that was within 1/10 of a second of my gold. So that's really good. So now we have the freeze grenade. This will be very useful later on. For right now, there's a little cutscene outside here that we would normally have to watch, but we're going to do a little trick with the remote control batarang. That helicopter has Vicky Vale in it, and she talks for a while. Or we can just do this. And ta-da, no more cutscene.
Esa torre es mía.
So Vicky Vale's in that crashed helicopter there because Joker shot it down, so we gotta rescue her by taking down these snipers. Whoops. Want to use the line launcher to get over here. So now we're going to rescue her from this abandoned highway, and we're going to put her on this abandoned building right beside the highway. Mission accomplished. Consider yourself saved. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the steel mill, because what happened while we were fighting Mr. Freeze was he made the cure, but then Harley Quinn stole it while we were fighting. So now we gotta go get it again. It's annoying. There's a lot going on here. It's a long story. But instead of going into the steel mill normally, we're gonna have some fun with it. And we're gonna do something called Stacy Skip, because there was that doctor we saved earlier. Her name was Stacy, and there's a bit where you see her. We're just gonna skip it by entering out of bounds. And yay, wall clip. Okay, so we want to sneak up to this door, then we have to leave and come back, because otherwise it doesn't save us being inside the building. And then we have to reload checkpoint, because if we don't, then it doesn't let us leave this room into any other areas. So, gotta do that. So this is a pretty hard trick, in my opinion. Do the super jump. Then we're going to use the line launcher to get over there, and then we're going to glide off of that out of bounds and land in just the right spot that we can be where we want to be. This is probably my least favorite trick in the run, because it's just really finicky. Okay, we did not get stuck inside a wall. Okay. Just threw the batarang to make sure that I was where I thought I was, so that I could line launch over here. And that was first try Stacy Skip. So now I have a little predator room. This one's pretty easy. Okay, they're not all going to come up this way, so it'll be a little harder, but not impossible by any means. You didn't get pulled off. There you go. And that's that predator room. Is that the last? Yeah, that's the last real predator room in the run. Okay, messed up the cancel on that door, but that's okay. There's a sniper here. He is kind of blind, so we're just gonna take advantage of that. That's Harley. She's tied up for some reason. So there's a bunch of thugs in this room, including these snipers, but if we just chuck a smoke grenade up here and then climb up, we can just run right past them. And we don't have to deal with anybody there. So this is Joker. He appears to have taken the cure, so he's no longer dying. But we're still dying, and all the innocent people in Gotham are still dying, so we've got a lot of work to do still. So we got this. This is the last big, like, combat segment in the game. We're gonna abuse ground takedowns quite a lot, among other things. Mostly ground takedowns. We can't take down Joker until everyone else is taken down, so we're just hitting him to get him out of the way and keep our combo if we can. This is Mr. Hammer. We skipped him earlier, so we haven't even seen him in the run yet. This game also has Titans in it. We skipped the part where they acknowledge that in the story. So we want to get our multi-ground back, and then... Yes. That's no good. Okay, now we're gonna take down this Titan using an Ultra Stun, and then beating him down. And then we just Batarang Joker down the fight. That was alright. That wasn't that bad. That fight can go really well, but like there's a lot of RNG in it, so okay. So now we come back to the whole Hugo Strange plotline. His whole master plan with this evil prison city was to kill everyone in it, specifically to get the city's permission to kill all the prisoners by staging a mass escape and stuff. It's interesting. So we're gonna stop him because, you know, we're Batman, we don't like killing people and stuff like that. So to get up to his tower, normally you'd have to like scan the helicopters, get the master control program, and then you have to go through the whole processing center and watch a cutscene and fight some guys and go up an elevator. So we're just gonna skip all that and just do this. Upcoming is by far my favorite trick in the entire series. It's really amusing. So if you played this game casually, you might know about freeze grenade climbing. Basically, if you're standing on a certain kind of ledge and you start throwing the freeze grenade, eventually when you're on like the very edge of that, it'll start launching you up in the air. So we're gonna abuse that and a couple other glitches in combination with it to skip this whole elevator. So first we want to grab storage of sitting on this ledge. Then we want to grab Batarang storage, like regular corner storage. Gonna zip out of bounds. Do a little glide to get over here. Then the real fun begins. So we're gonna do this. I'm gonna start counting. 10. 20. 30. 40, 41. Did 42 just for good measure. Then we have another one where we do 7, and then it should just load in. 6, 7, and then one big one. Hopefully the tower loads in and the game doesn't soft lock. It's been pretty nice to me, but there is a chance that will happen, so fair warning. Whoops. Okay, we're good. $10. 20. 30. 35, 36, 37. 40. 50. 55, 56, 57, 58. So that should be good. I've never had it not load in with 58 freeze grenades, so... Okay, the music's playing, that's a good sign. So if when I flick the mouse up here, the game should like lag horribly. And that means the tower loaded in. Okay, we're good. That was the last thing that can really go horribly wrong in the run. So we're doing just fine. Okay, so when we grab, normally there's a way to get up here that involves like hacking a thing and climbing up something, but if we just grapple up here, for whatever reason the AI doesn't load in properly, so we can just do like really loud takedowns that are fast and they don't care because they can't hear anything. So now we're gonna wait for that guy to get somewhere where we can backclaw him. Gets a little stuck on the ledge there, so just wait a second. They're both down, and this guy will hear that, but that works to our advantage because then we can just punch him.
y pienso averiguar quién es en cuanto detenga el protocolo.
This is a little tricky because there's a lot of possible options for the hacking, and if you don't know what you're looking for, you're in trouble. Okay, I do know what I'm looking for though. All right. There's a lot of cutscenes coming up, so if you want to plug stuff or whatever, go right ahead.
Yeah, sure. All right. We are still looking at the where did I go? Gender for the Animal Crossing city folk. It is currently girl at $1, but you could see that change to boy for $2. And as well, we are currently at a total of 881. We're really hoping to knock that up to 4 digits. If we do, we have something super cool planned that we hope that we can get going. We've still got 11-ish hours to make that happen though, so let's see if we can get that done.
All right. So what's going on in the story now is Hugo Strange has been dealt with, so there's no more prisoners getting murdered. Joker has the cure and our girlfriend, so we gotta go stop him. So earlier in the run, we bought a gadget called the Batclaw Disarm, which lets us pull guns out of people's hands, which will be very useful in this a little bit, because there's going to be a lot of snipers, and normally the game wants you to take them all down, but pulling the sniper rifles out of their hands and off the buildings they're on the game will consider them dealt with, so we're just going to do that. That's 4 snipers dealt with. That guy was blind because he didn't even see me. Also, these snipers are not the most adept at hearing because they don't seem to care about loud takedowns. Okay, that's a little inconvenient, but fine. That's not exactly how I wanted that to go, but that's alright. That was very good. And now we have Clayface. So Joker was not actually healed, he was just pretending to be healed for some reason. And Clayface wants to kill us, so we gotta stop him. This is the final boss. Okay, he jumped first. That's not ideal. Or actually, no, that is ideal. Yeah. We want him to jump first and then roll, because it's easier to aim him when he's rolling. So basically what we're doing is trying to bait him into these explosive things so that he deals a lot of damage to himself. Okay, before we do the takedown on him, we're just going to set that explosive gel up for the next phase. This run is on ridiculously good pace, by the way. Okay, good, that worked. So this should be a piece of cake. Okay, that didn't even hit me. I'm actually just gonna let him hit me with this so that he goes on to his next move, which is rolling. Fantastic. That's phase 2.
Que llegue tarde a mi spa. Además, ya no tienes que salvar a ninguna chica, ¿verdad? Uy, lo Lo siento.
Alright, so this is cutscene, and then the final phase of Clayface has like 4 sub-phases, I guess. So time's coming up pretty soon. I'll let you know when. So Batman is going to unlock his ultimate superpower here, which is a sword, obviously. And now we're going to cut clay monsters up with a sword. Because I can't think of anything else I'd want to do in a Batman game more than sword fighting against clay monsters. Okay, so we want to time our freeze grenade throws just right so that they go into his mouth right as soon as they can. That was a little late, but we can work with this. Just gonna do this move here that takes down a lot of them. Ah, it didn't hit one of the little guys, not the big guy. That's not what I wanted. Okay, time's coming up pretty soon. Like, in a couple seconds. So right when I jump into Clayface's mouth is time. And time.
Great run.
That was, by my count, that was 7 seconds off the world record.
Oof, really?
Yeah.
What's world record?
109.41 by me.
Oof.
So that was fantastic. Like, nothing went wrong, really.
I can think of one thing that went wrong. Lynn being not here to stop the timer
Oh.
again.
Oh no. Well, I guess we get to watch the final cutscene play out until...
Yeah, hopefully she, is somewhere.
Yeah. Alright, well, I guess I can use this opportunity to once again shout out the Batman Arkham community. We're really, like, it's a really awesome community. A couple people in particular I want to shout out. Fully Automato just did the Asylum run. Kojo Sao has run this game for a very long time, and he held the world record previously. Phoenix is a moderator. He's cool. I feel weird naming off names now. I shouldn't have done that. Oh well. What's done is done.
Oh no, shout people out. I'm sure they don't mind.
Trying to think of other people. Oranges, yeah, he found a lot of the glitches in this game, I believe. The Tom Dynasty runs the console version of this game, or did at one point. I think he has moved on to Asylum now, primarily. And yeah, drawing a blank on anything else.
Well, thank you so much for the run. I'm going to see if I can figure out what happened to Lynn, because she's the one in control of the overlays.
Alright.
And we'll be back with the next run soon.
Alright, thanks for having me.
Thanks for running.
llamada recibida hace 3 horas.
Only you can make this world seem right. Only you can make the darkness bright. Only you and you alone can thrill me like you do, and fill my heart with love for only you. Only you can make this change in me, for it's true, you are my destiny. When you hold my hand, I understand the magic that you do. You're my dream come true, my one and only you. Only you can make this change in me, for